Well, Harrison, it's become the trademark move for you really to get the ball onto the head of Clark Harris, and yeah, the goal last night, earning a point, all very satisfying.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, when I get the ball wide, and when you've got Jono playing with you, if you put a good ball in, you know you're gonna get goals from him. And yeah, that's my type of play. Like, get the ball out my feet, look in the box, and just cross and find it onto Jono's head, and he'll give you goals.
Yeah, and what seems to be really nice about it, if you get it spot on, there's very little the defence can do about it. If Johnson's there and he's ready to go, he tends to score.
Yeah, the ball on Tuesday night, I thought I put in a good ball, and it's hard for Jono to miss from there really. But yeah, he gets good power on his headers and stuff, so the keeper can't keep a header like that out.
Yeah, and for Tuesday as well, you'd been all over the pitch playing different roles, and you'd only actually just moved back onto the left side, so it must have been great to make that immediate impact.
Yeah, I went from wing back to right wing and then back onto the left. So yeah, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing in multiple positions. But when I'm on the left, my main role really is to get the ball out my feet, and especially when Jono's playing, like I said, to look up in the box and deliver crosses.
Yeah, and it's nice to have so many strings to your bow as such a young player, to have that versatility. And I guess you'll say that you still feel you can improve in a number of areas, but to be that useful across the side is a great skill to have.
Yeah, I mean, since I've made my breakthrough with the first team, like, I haven't really had one nailed down position as such, which a lot of players, when they get to my age, are sort of like trying to nail down in one position. But for me, wherever I play, obviously I'll use my strengths and play to my best of my ability.
Yeah, because often people will say, particularly early in your career, it can be a bit of a disadvantage to be so versatile, but you've made it work for you.
Yeah, I think it's an advantage for myself. Obviously, when the gaffer's looking to pick a team, obviously he knows I can play in a variety of positions, and I think, like I say, it's a strength of mine that I can play in a number of positions, so it helps me get in the team as of such.
Yeah, and with this season so far, we've mentioned it before, but to be at a new level and to be progressing and to be more involved than ever as a posh player, it's quite some achievement. You must feel you've got some good momentum.
Yeah, I'm really confident. Obviously, the start of the season, I've started off quite strong with a goal against Derby, and that just set the tone for my season really, and now I'm getting a lot more goals and assists from last year. Obviously, I got quite a lot of assists last year, but this year I've scored 3 already, which I'm really happy with.
Yeah, and you've obviously got the mental strength as well. Swansea on Saturday, I'm sure you didn't want to be coming off ahead of half-time, but you didn't allow it to affect you for Tuesday night.
No, you can't in the Championship especially. You've got to just take each game slowly and one by one, and you've just got to forget. Obviously, we forgot about Swansea, and we've just got to look to the future, because this part of the season, points are really important to us.
Yeah, it's a big part of it, isn't it? Having that self-belief that you have a bad day at Swansea, but you just get back to doing what you do. The manager shows faith in you, puts you back in the team, and you just crack on with the next game.
Yeah, obviously I can't dwell on that performance. So I've just like I say, I look to the future, and I use it as motivation really, to try and, when I'm going into the next game, use it as motivation and be more confident and just have nothing to lose when I'm playing.
Yeah, and presumably as well, as a younger player, I think it affects virtually everyone, maybe one or two really stellar talents that from a young age can just be at their best week in, week out. But I guess coaches are saying to you, you will have days where you just can't hit your normal standards. That's what happens to young players, and dealing with that is all part of the process.
Yeah, especially as this is my first season in the Championship. I know every game I'm not going to be performing 10 out of 10 every game, so when I do have a good game, I don't get too high, and when I have a bad game, you can't get too low. You just got to maintain level playing field.
What was it like coming into the QPR game where you knew you were going to be playing in that wing-back role, and I guess you're very comfortable with the going forward, maybe with the defending? It's not something that has been such an obvious part of your game to date. You know you're going to be coming up against a really experienced player in Adoma. How do you approach all of that? What's your strategy?
So as a wing-back, for me, I'm more of an attacking wing-back. So my head going into the game is more focusing on when I'm attacking. And obviously I had Beeve behind me, so he's obviously really experienced in that. So he's talking to me through the defensive side of the game, so that really helps. But yeah, it's just you've got to win your 1v1 battles, especially when it's wing back for wing back. It's just concentrating, trying to win your 1v1 battle.
Yeah, so for you, because you know the attacking side's your strength, really focus on that. And yeah, you're conscious that you've got to deal with things the other way, but try and have at the front of your mind all the things you like doing, basically.
Yeah, as a wing back, you kind of want to try and pin them back rather than you get pinned back and be more defensive. So it's just trying to, when I'm attacking, trying to bring my quality out. Therefore, pinning Adoma back, which it was against QPR.
Have you got any sense at this stage of where you'd like to see yourself long term, or is it a case of just being really open-minded?
I think it's more me being open-minded, really. Like, obviously, I'm playing the championship and I'm really enjoying it. So I haven't really even thought about like nailing down one position. I'm just wherever I play, I'm really enjoying the championship.
Yeah, and I don't suppose you've really had time to stop and think about what a crazy year it's been, getting more and more involved in the side, having won the promotion, all of these games in the championship.
Yeah, I think it just falls into place really. Once you have like a couple good games, score a good goal, like it just all falls into place and it happens so quickly. Like I'm just still taking it into my stride now.
Yeah, and it must be nice as well that because you have quite genuinely progressed through all of the levels here. Great for some of the other young players to see you, isn't it? Actually in the team, great for the club that it's not just about saying we want to give opportunities to young players. You're living it and doing it.
Yeah, it's really I'm really happy moment for me. Obviously, I've been here since the age of 7, 8. So seeing like when I used to come and watch the games and now being involved week in, week out, it's like a dream come true. Because when I was younger, that was always the plan, to come and play here, play first team football week in, week out.
Yeah, I'm trying to think when you would have been looking at players in the first team, would it have been someone like Joe Newell, that sort of player who'd come through?
Yeah, it was the young boys, but obviously my like people I look up to mainly was like people like George Boyd, because I'm kind of like a similar player to him. So George Boyd was like the main idol for me when I was watching him.
Yeah, and it must seem funny now that he's hung up his boots and retired.
Yeah, that it's crazy. It's crazy how quick it goes. And now I'm 19, playing the championship while he's retired. Yeah, time goes so quickly.
Well, that is the funny thing, isn't it? You say you're 19 and everyone will be telling you rightly that you've got a long way to go in your career, but equally, it can go in a flash, can't it? It can really go quickly.
I mean, even though I'm 19, I still want to be performing to like as best as I can, because anything can happen in football. Obviously, one week you might be in the team, and then the next minute you won't. So you've got to really perform when you get given the chance. So that's what I'm trying to do now.